Just it's kind of course, game 1 of the season, 8:00 start on a school night, and it's
Why
going to go to overtime. Thanks a lot, Michael Backlund. Could you bear down for F's sakes? Just like we expected, the Flames going to roll into Vancouver and grab a win. No, we didn't think that. I don't know that we thought that before the game. Certainly didn't think that after the first period or partway through the second anyway. But the Flames find a way to win a crazy hockey game out in Vancouver. Welcome to the first afterburner of the season. 82 games, 82 afterburners, maybe playoffs at this rate. I mean, they're
Why not?
Look like a
Who
plucky kind of playoff team to me. Cami Kepke, along with yours truly, Boomer, here on I think it's a Wednesday night. Opening night for the Calgary Flames.
Boom, you are so energetic. I feel like you are ready to do 81 more of these. Are you prepared to sign on for every single afterburner?
Yeah, I feel like it's a sliding scale. We'll see how great it is in November and then December and January. But, hey, that was a hell of a hockey game. I know Ray Ferraro was talking about it. Sloppy hockey and poorly executed hockey can be very entertaining. There was a ton of goals, some saves. We saw a whole lot of things tonight that I don't know.
Get one good jaw dropper, you're sold. I'm in.
Yeah.
Like Calgary couldn't win a season opener for 12 straight years. That is 3 in a row. Maybe it doesn't bode well for the final result, but it is something.
Yes, it is something. It is something. You know, we had more in that first period than oh no, it's my camera.
We were also late to the stream because I messed up my microphone.
We're off to a fantastic start.
Clearly in mid-season form. Over here.
Oh my gosh.
We are a bigger wreck than the construction outside.
No, it's working, but what the heck? You can hear me, of course, right?
Yes.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Oh my goodness. Well, we'll just keep going. I'm sure it'll just come back on its own. I was having these problems last year now that I think about it. Anyway, let's be honest, Cami. If there's one person whose camera it's that everyone's happy is working, it's yours and not mine. This is best for everybody. They don't need to look at me. They can see you. This is the best case scenario for everybody.
We can't even hear you.
You can't hear me now?
Gosh dang it. Well, gang, I guess it's just us.
I'm back.
I was so ready to take the reins on this.
I'm back, baby. But you know what's going to happen? It's going to go off again. I have no idea what it is. There's no way it's overheating. It just decides, I'm just going to turn myself off.
Now I know how to turn it back on.
You can hear me though, right? Everyone can hear me? Can you hear me?
Boom.
Yes.
Boom.
Cami. This has been quite a day.
Yeah, let's move on.
Back to the task at hand. It is not a season opener. It is the JT Miller Revenge Tour.
This is quite a night. Let's get into it. Not what I was expecting. Slop. It was very preseason-y to begin for sure. As it was, I was thinking. As the shot total went 6-1, 7-1, 8-1, 10-1, 10-2. It's like they're going to need about 12 goalies this year at this rate because they are.
And Vladar was still their best player after that.
Yeah, he was terrific. Even Ferraro said, it's tough when a guy's let in 4 on 5 or whatever it was at that point for him to be. But he's been very good, and he had been very good to that point. I was just thinking they're going to run out of goalies. They're going to have to find some goalies somewhere to keep everybody healthy or at least in shape. And then they kind of settled in the second period. And I don't know, is it something they said? Is it just you need to get out of that first period? A lot happened. We can walk through it. I guess start with some of the debuts. And we were kind of texting before the game. You're a fan of Lomberg. It's hard not to like Lomberg. He's a ball of muck. He's filled with grime, and you love those kind of guys.
He looks like if I was walking to the C train at night from done at the bar, just trying to get home, it looks like I would pass him and he'd hiss at you.
Yeah, he's hey, you know what? You got to have guys in the room that have got some jewelry that have been cup champions. That's one of their cup champions. That's one of their leaders. Honzek has a chance to score in the first shift of the hockey game and goes right to the net. and was I don't know, beyond that. The thing about that first period is they had all the power plays for Vancouver. He's not going to be killing power. He's not a penalty killer, at least not yet in this career. So you lose some of those guys along the way. I don't know, beyond that first little kind of a charge at the start of the game that I saw a whole lot of them. Did you, as far as tough to give a grade, I guess, but what do you think of Honzek in this?
I think that is as much as you can ask of a guy in his debut. Honestly, it kind of reminded me of Matthew Phillips in his NHL debut, where it was kind of a nothing game. I think it might have been against Vancouver at the end of the bubble season, where he was really around it. He had that great opportunity where a lot of people really thought he was going to get that first NHL goal, didn't get it, but you could see that they were still, even if Honzek wasn't the most noticeable player, Huska still trusted him enough, or needed him enough to put him on in some pretty important situations.
Yeah.
He was on in the last minute of play in that game heading into overtime. That's not nothing. He does end the night +1. He had a little power play time, I think. I thought I saw him out there.
Yeah.
13-11 ice time. He has a shot, block,
It's
couple
fine,
hits.
right? Yeah.
What more can you ask of the kid?
Yeah. He
First teenager in years to make his debut on this team.
Put in a good spot with Kadri and Kuzmenko, and it's you start to build. And I wasn't sure. I was like, is this what this is going to be? This guy started in Penticton. I was like, I didn't really see much of him, and then he just keeps getting better and better. Is he going to be we'll see if he keeps getting better and better. As far as Ball on the back end, it did not look great. It looked like he and Anderson were a bit of a work in progress as far as a pairing, and then they're shorthanded, and he was kind of lost in space a little bit.
He's
beyond
not the
that,
slowest guy in the world, though, is he? Like, he's big, and I wouldn't say he's quick, but he can move. That was like the most graceless stop of a break when he was I think it was Garland. He was trying to head off to prevent a break for him pretty early on in the game, and he just kind of like bowled into his own net, but he just didn't let him get the shot off.
Yeah, well, Garland, he's such a big brute. Hard to fend off guys like that when you're 6'4" or whatever it was. So yeah, 4-on-14 for Vancouver in that first period. It felt like this is going to be a long night. This is going to be a long season. So credit to Huska and the coaching staff for getting in there and settling things down. Part of that first period, we saw Kevin Rooney get hit by JT Miller, which then led to a bunch of Flames trying to get at JT Miller, and then eventually they got at JT Miller. We'll take a look at the hit here.
Scary. I think honestly, more than anything, I looked at his reaction. Until people were in the box, I didn't really think about whether it was a clean hit or not. You just see that reaction, that involuntary reaction that we've seen in other hits, particularly in football. It reminds me of what you see with Tua.
Yeah.
Just
the fencing pose or whatever they refer to it as when
it looks like a hit where like you can see on the impact, it's like you can almost, have you ever been hit in the head or you can like taste the hit? Where your mouth almost like just tastes like metal and you just feel your head spinning.
Metallic, yeah.
Yeah, it felt like that to me, and I'm so happy he was able to get up on his own. Glad he didn't return to the game. Glad he's being evaluated and that the medical staff is there to take care of him. And
so, yeah, kind of feels a little bit like a long shot that he's ready for a game on Saturday. Who knows? He'll have to go into concussion protocol, but that was not and I mean, it's a great point you make. It looked nasty as he's laying there, as he was totally out. But the fact that he was able to kind of get up on his own and get out of there was at least a bit of good news. That being first and foremost, health first. You then wonder, okay, so if not Rooney, then who's it going to be? You lose Cole Schwindt, centerman on the waiver wire the other day. So we'll see what the Flames do here in time for the next game on Saturday. Do you have a thought on whether, dirty hit? Again, I don't know. It just felt like the impact off the boards. It's that space, whatever you want to call it, 4 feet away from 4 feet off the boards. Mm-hmm. If you're not bracing yourself quite right, then you can really get yourself into some trouble. There's Ryan Pike bomb. Strongly suspect he'll
be in protocol. I would frankly be very disappointed if I saw him playing this weekend.
Yeah. So that's aside from that everything else in this night was was pretty entertaining. Want to give some love. We're back with Afterburner, another season of Afterburner, and our great sponsors are back on board. He was an OG from day one, Derek Newman with the Newman Group, CIR Realty. Whether you're buying or selling, let Derek do the work for you. Email dnewman@cirrealty.ca or call 403-619-6661. He's a Calgary guy. He's born and bred. He loves this city. He loves working with people. I guess you have, if you're a real estate agent and you hate people, bad line of work because you're dealing with people all the time. Like me, I'm not sure I could be a real estate agent. I'll let Derek Newman be the real estate agent. I'll do what I do. Complimentary in-house home staging consultations, accountable, available. You're buying, you're selling, you've bought or sold a ton, or it's your first time. Derek is the guy for you. Let his team with Derek Newman Group go to work with CIR Realty and do it for you. The website or the email to get a hold of Derek, dnewman@cirrealty.ca. We got some game one.
Buried the lead a little bit.
Did I?
Well, we were talking about debuts.
We
didn't get to the dueling Gordie Howe.
Now, we'll get there. We'll get there, I suppose. I wanted to talk about, because we were talking about Vladar. I had to get into the rule book. Game one of the season. Okay, so how does this work? Is the goal, if you have your mask, because I thought once the mask is off.
He had to put on his reading glasses for this one.
I did. When a goalkeeper has lost his helmet and or face mask and his team has control of the puck, play shall be stopped immediately to allow the goalkeeper the opportunity to regain his helmet and or face mask. However, in this case, when the opposing team has control of the puck, play shall only be stopped if there is no immediate and impending scoring opportunity. The stoppage of play must be made by the referee. So the referee clearly decided and assessed the situation and said there is an impending and immediate scoring chance coming. And he would have been right because the puck was in the back of the net shortly thereafter. So I have to admit, I wasn't that familiar with that. It makes sense, I guess.
I didn't think it seemed very logical at that particular juncture in time.
Feels kind of dangerous. We're all about safety. It's safety.
I don't care.
First.
Like, it might be correct according to the rule book. After seeing another person on the ice clearly struggling and in pain, I would not love to see Dan Vladar attempt to make that save.
Can't be kicking at pucks, but we can have goalies in there without masks on. What are we doing? Come on, Bettman. Clean this shit up.
When a kick really is.
I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, and then I guess if you lose your glove, keep on playing.
I said on Twitter, Dan Vladar is doing the world's slowest version of the striptease from Slapshot.
Yeah.
He's down with suspenders somewhere in Vancouver right now.
Yeah. Is that Ned Braden? Is that who that was? I believe in Slapshot? Anyway, I'm not sure.
The mom from A Christmas Story is in Slapshot.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I gotta write that down. Important. See, that's what I learned from you, Cap.
Bringing you the stats that matter.
Yeah, working with you here. That's the so if you want it, okay, we'll do it. We're gonna do it. And you know what? I'm not sure, because I was gonna tie it in with our buddies at Bet365, the world's largest sports betting platform. You open an account with Bet365, bet on a huge range of markets. Download the app, use the promo code FN bonus. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. I have to bet. Well, I'll say it. I don't know that there would have been any odds at Bet365 or anywhere, but certainly at Bet365 that would have said tonight, Gordie Howe hat trick, Anthony Mantha. I don't think that would have been in there. There's all kinds of props and player bets and things that you could wager on, but I don't think the Anthony Mantha opening night.
Per our friend Ryan Pike, that was the first one since one Alex Chason.
There it is.
Yeah.
Ryan Pike, Anthony Mantha's Gordie Howe hat trick, 60th in Flames franchise history, first since Alex Chason, another noted pugilist, on December 4th of 2016. So long ago. Yeah, it was so long ago. Now, not tied into this, and again, if the one wasn't on Bet365, then I know the other one. Who had the other Gordie Howe tonight? Because there were two Gordie Howe hat tricks in the NHL tonight. Did you happen to see it? Because
that rat Timothy.
Yeah, I guess it was, right?
That's the meanest way that Flames fans can chant JT Miller when Vancouver comes here, because they're going to find a way. They're going to find a way.
I don't know. I give him credit, because again, I didn't think it was necessarily that dirty a hit, but he knew he hurt the guy. I'm going to have to go.
I think it almost turned into more about no one went after Miller in a huge way. a lot of people tried taking like little snips at him. 2 of the power play goals were direct results of small action taken against JT Miller. It's almost like you should have had one big FU battle better than the fight and then really left it at that, because I think that's kind of what got the Flames down in the hole. And then he was feeding into it, so then it just makes it so much easier to hate him, and then it's a whole thing.
I always wonder how easy or difficult it is to respond if you're the Flames in a situation like that where one of your players is seriously injured. Now, again, he got up off on his own, but if somebody leaves on a stretcher or something like that where there's a significant injury, how easy or how quickly you're able to kind of you're still thinking about, okay, we've got at that point 2.5 periods left to play in this hockey game. We got to get our heads back into this, and they certainly did. I like JT Miller. If he was just a little better, they'd have beaten the Oilers last year, and I'd have been okay with that. But nonetheless, we'll see what the return is for him when they play back here. Empty net goals, Cami, they are so underrated. They just seem so easy. It's just whatever. Bear the bleep down, could you? Because this could have.
There's a lesson that can be learned from this, though. As American poet laureate Hannah Montana once said, everybody makes mistakes. And what we saw tonight was that anyone can make mistakes.
I guess.
No, but it's good because like they could have folded after that. And what we saw tonight was a team that would not goddamn fold.
You're right.
They didn't do it. They still managed to come back. They didn't lose confidence. And I think that's what we would have seen when there was that cloud over the Flames a year ago after that awful October-November stretch. They would have been so deflated even after that first period. Even if they had lost that game tonight, I wouldn't have been that mad because that would have been losing the right way. It would have been losing and fighting your darndest. A couple things didn't go right. You can live with that.
Well, I mean, there's a lot to take from this. There's the big picture. Oh, it's a tank year and wins don't matter and all of that. But if you care at all about the individuals, if you think about Ryan Huska, what a job for his coaches. We said that. They dug in here and they played their ass off. They were down 4-1. One of their guys got hurt. They're on the road. They're getting outshot 4-1, 5-1, whatever it was at one point. It could have been a real snot bubbling and a shit kicking, but they decided in the second period, no, we're pros. We're gonna come back here and see what we can make out of it. And I don't know if Vancouver took their foot off the gas. I think that's natural that you do when you feel like it's point night. We might win. We might hit double digits tonight, and then all of a sudden, now it's 4-2. It's 4-3. Oh shit! And then it can happen. Look at it's Derek Newman jumping in here. That's the Derek Newman real thing. Reminds me of 04 when Iggy missed the empty net. Yeah, you're going to want to hit those. You got to hit those. Cami, you've hit the empty net. Turn the lights out. There's not going to be any more drama. Chances are. I'll have to have a talk with Bax if I ever go to the rink. So there is that. Want to say hello and welcome.
Sorry. I was just gonna say I think that especially with the shots, you look at it, Calgary outshot 15-5 in the first period. They did not get outshot again after that. Vancouver didn't get a single shot in overtime. Calgary managed to surge back to not only hold Vancouver to 3 shots in the second, but to outshoot them overall in the end by a narrow margin.
Yeah.
They really did a good job of forcing Vancouver forced themselves out of system, and they just became a little bit of a defensive mess down the road, which helped.
It did help. Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, they contributed to it.
Some of the veterans like Mackenzie Weegar step up also helped. Also a Huberdeau goal.
Yeah, we'll take a look at those. We've got a little pack for you. Want to say hello and welcome to Afterburner, to one of our new partners and one of our new sponsors, Richmond's Pub. The new home away from home for Afterburner. Great food, daily specials. There's TVs everywhere. It's a throwback. It's a classic when it comes to Calgary and sports bars and pubs and lounges. Richmond's is ready for game day. Right now, they've got a little football VIP experience until the end of October. You can enter to win a trip to San Francisco, the Windy City. It's your flight, it's your hotel, it's 2 tickets and $500 in spending cash. You got to be there on Thursdays for Thursday night football. Don't Google it. Thursdays for Thursday night football, your chance to qualify. Then at the end of the month, all the qualifiers get together and one name is picked. That draw will be coming up on November the 4th to head to San Francisco.
The Windy City, as some
The Windy
say.
City. Yeah, that's right. They will have a hockey VIP experience coming up. If it's a Calgary game day, it's Coors Light, it's Coors Original, it's Cool Seltzer, it's on special. Details to come. Afterburner, we will be live, coming to you from Richmond's Pub throughout this season. Sports live here. Richmond Pub, 3919 Richmond Road, in the heart of Glamorgan. So when you're there grabbing your cheese buns at the bakery, slide on over and have a pint at Richmond's Pub. Be what I'd do if I were you.
I've never had one of those cheese buns. Really gonna put that on the Calgary to-do list.
Cami Kepke. How long have you been living in Calgary? What are we talking about here?
I moved here the week before the 2019 playoffs.
Oh my goodness.
That is how long I've been here.
You gotta get
because my first week was covering the Flames in playoffs, and
well,
that ended pretty quick.
Yeah, I could see why that'd be easy to remember because it doesn't happen a whole lot. Covering the playoff runs here. Anyway, so good to have you on board. Thank you to everybody at Richmond's Pub. We're looking forward to getting over there and hanging out and doing what you do at Richmond's Pub. Let's take. Why don't we take a look? We'll take a little look, see what we happened. Obviously, people watched the game. Maybe you missed it, but this is a little bit of a look at what we had. Beautiful stuff. As Connie,
if you take away what time in the game it's happening, would you take that Zary goal or the Honzek preseason goal?
That one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that one. I mean, it's overtime. It's 3-on-3. There's more, there's more space, I guess. But that's,
it's an unbelievable goal. That's like a great sign of things to come.
Yeah. They're both great goals, but that one with what was on the line. And I remember, I think even you and I were doing these shows last year. Zary's he's just cocky enough to try shit like that. You know what I mean? A lot of other guys, well, I can't turn the puck over here. I don't want to make a mistake that goes back the other way. I don't be a 1-on-3 kind of a thing. Cause if I turn it over, I'm going to be the GOAT. I'm going to try it. I'm going to go backhand, forehand, around and through and see if it works. And I mean, beautiful stuff. So he's a guy you just wonder what's it going to be with this guy?
You know, actually earlier today, I was out meeting up with the Vancouver Giants. Actually, we did a little piece with them with some of the players, just wishing Honzek good luck. The Giants are in Calgary right now. They were all piling into their hotel tonight to watch them. They were all texting him good luck and stuff like that. But talking to some of these players who are NHL prospects, I asked some of them, like, who's the hardest player you faced in the WHL? And one of them actually said Connor Zary today. We got a lot of Olin Zellweger, a lot of Logan Stankoven, and a Connor Zary. I think shifty was the word that was used to describe him.
Shifty. I'll take it. Heck of a move there. Want to talk about, you know what? They had the ceremony at the start. They showed the stickers on the back of the helmets that everybody's wearing for the Gaudreau boys. And we do a segment with Alberta Blue Cross. It's called the Alberta Blue Cross Meaningful Moment of the Week. And this just felt, when I saw it, that feels meaningful. I think it's meaningful to all of us. If you're with Alberta Blue Cross, if you're planning a trip, make sure you remember to pack travel insurance from Alberta Blue Cross. When you've got Canada's most trusted travel insurance in your back pocket, you can focus on making the right kind of memories while you're away. Visit ab.bluecross.ca/travel for more information. And this was, I'm not sure when it was taken, but it was taken online. And that is the back of Dustin Wolf's mask. And you can see it's the kind of the classic, in a way, after the Dallas game in overtime, he scores the winner, comes back out for the first star honors. And that's his twirl just outside the gate of the Flames bench. As still hard to wrap your head around it, Cami. You keep seeing it, and you would think by now it would not make sense, but you'd have come to grips with it. But every time you see the montages or the tributes or whatever. It's still hard to kind of figure out. So that is our meaningful moment of the week, a presentation of Alberta Blue Cross. Again, if you're taking that trip, make sure you have a little travel insurance with you from Alberta Blue Cross. Better safe always. Visit ab.bluecross.ca/travel for more information.
That's an excellent pick, and that's a really nice touch by Wolf. He's a guy who puts a lot of thought into his masks. He always likes to tell a story or find something meaningful with them, I find. Remember a year or two ago, he did a mask honoring all of the kind of goalie greats in Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
Saying that I know eventually wanted to be a part of that lineup, but
yeah,
no, you can tell he didn't just do it to do it. He really thinks about those things. A very cerebral guy, a nice tribute, and it's going to be, I would expect that he probably gets the start at home against the Flyers coming up here, and that'll be something to see it in person with the crowd taking their 13-second pause to honor the Gaudreau brothers and their family and the people that love them.
Yeah. I can't talk about it because
no,
it still kind of it just gets to you. So yeah, nicely done. You talk about playing Philadelphia. We can take a look at the road ahead now for Village Honda, located in the Northwest Auto Mall. Stretch leasing. Have you ever heard of stretch leasing?
Can you explain, please?
I have not, and it's what the more flexibility, more payment options. Explore Honda's new 28-month stretch lease at Village Honda today. It's applicable to the new CR-V, the HR-V, and the Civic, which are all incredibly reliable vehicles. Find out more online at villagehonda.com as we take a look at the road ahead. So the season opener is behind them. They move on to the home opener, which will be Saturday against the Philadelphia Flyers.
Third last home opener at the Saddle Dome. Can we appreciate that?
I didn't know we were counting those down. It's okay, yeah, sure. Unless there's delays, Cami. Unless there's, some kind of
weird... we girl pick up that shovel again and get right back out there.
Yeah. Matvei Mishkov and the Flyers and Tarts in town to take on the Flames. And then on Sunday, little back-to-back up to Edmonton, and Tuesday, it's Chicago.
Weird. What happened?
Of course, the city by the bay.
Edmonton tonight?
Yeah, I don't know.
Weird.
Not sure. However, I seem to remember they had some losses at the start of last season too, and they kind of got over it in a hurry. So I'm not going to celebrate too much.
And now we have the dig-in memes to carry us through the season.
Yeah. So there you go. We the teams that you'll see here coming up at the Dome over the next little bit.
The Tuesday one will be good. Actually, that's going to be the first time Connor Bedard gets to play an NHL game at the Saddle Dome. Last year when he was supposed to be here was when his jaw was broken, so he was sidelined. But he told me his after World Juniors, his last game or his last year in the WHL when the Pats were in Calgary, that was post World Juniors where it was just a sellout anywhere he went. CSEC didn't open up every seat in the building. Some of the press level seats weren't available, but it was a sellout for what was available for people to get. And Bedard said that was the biggest crowd he had ever played in front of in his life at that point. And he ended up winning it in a shootout. So
is this you doing some name dropping, Kepke? When I was talking to Connor Bedard, he was telling me about the last time.
That was the night we also unearthed the lore that he is Gavin McKenna's cousin.
Me and CB, we were chewing the fat the other day. Told me about his cousin there. Hey, you're a big deal. Aren't you you're the commissioner of the Western Hockey League? Isn't that what it is?
Yes.
Western Hockey League commissioner Cami Kepke. And Pike.
I'm a professional yapper over there.
Look at Pike. Can that be right? 123 Saddle Dome games to go. I guess they play 40. And again, I just if there's any kind of delays, if the mix isn't quite right, or if they forget their hard hats one day or something, you got to push things down the road. You know what it's like.
Someone tries to bury a body in the wet concrete.
No. That'll be the.
So that's a bad way to get rid of a body because the body will disintegrate and then the building is no longer structurally sound. So there's a big hole in the concrete. So if you guys want the new dome to be built on time, don't do that.
some sordid details from Cami Kepke.
I don't know. I watched some. I was sick the other day, and I watched a lot of The Sopranos. That's why it's on my mind.
Yeah, were you having some gabagool?
Gabagool. I was watching the Pine Barrens episode. Guy was an interior decorator.
It's such a great show. Such a great show. And look at Doug. He's like 123 Pike. Not counting playoffs. Regular season. Come on, you're usually very good with the details there, Pike. Clean it up, would you? Clean it up. Square. Do you know what Square is?
A shape?
Square is a company. When you take your credit, it kind of looks like sort of one of these things. And you go, yeah, I'm ready to pay for my meal. I'm ready to, and you give it the old beep. Square. If you run a restaurant, you're too busy for this ad. You're thinking about how to get more orders flowing, new locations opening. You need more customers and you need them coming back. So really, you are thinking about Square. You may not even know it. Square Restaurant Tech helps more than 400,000 restaurants do all those things and more. So when you're thinking about your restaurant, think bigger and think Square. You can maximize your sales by making it easy to process orders in-house with a kiosk or a mobile POS for table side orders and online ordering for takeout and delivery. Go check it out online. Hang with me. squareup.com/ca/big-IN-RST. Big in RST is the end. So squareup.com/ca/en/campaign/big-in-RST.
Thank you, Square, for making sure that I never need to carry cash anymore.
Boop. That's what I said. We were talking on the other show today. If you ever go to a restaurant now, it's can we get the bill? I'm ready to pay. Oh, you could just come on up to the counter. Come up to the counter. I'm sitting right here. I'm so full. I could barely. Could you bring you don't have a boop? Gonna get a hold of Square, would you? So I can boop right here at my table.
Uh-oh.
Boop.
When someone brings the Square over here, can they also bring me a charger for this laptop that is now on battery saver mode?
It's just a monitor.
Okay.
Fine.
All right. So then I just won't be able to see you anymore.
Oh, see, that's what
a reversal of what the start of the show was like, which is a nice parallel to the game itself.
Yeah, no, exactly. But then my camera started working again, so everyone's a loser. Sorry.
Anyway. Question for you.
Yeah.
Mentioned it a little bit earlier. I would expect to see a Dustin Wolf between the pipes when the Flames come back to Yonder Saddle Dome.
Mm-hmm.
Would you expect to see that, or do you think is there a case to keep Mr. Vladar in there after a strong showing this evening?
He let in 5, right? Or is that what the final score? I mean, he played well. However, you needed a lot of goals to win tonight. As good as all of it was. I think it's Wolf on Saturday. You've got 3 and 4 because you go Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, quick trip to Edmonton mixed in there as well. So I would think he's going to play one of the next 3 anyway. So I'm going to go with Wolf on Saturday. That would be my guess. And I know that was your guess, so I'm agreeing with you. Good call, Cami. We'll call La Barbara.
How does it feel to be so correct?
Yeah. Well,
although I'm not going to give Dan Vladar like a ton of crap for letting in 5 because he didn't have a helmet on for 1.
Yeah, I mean, 2 the back-to-back power play goals.
On the Sprong one.
Yeah, maybe. Sprong he's an interesting character, man. Because I think he had 3 shifts in the third period. He's so highly skilled. He was, I believe, a second-round pick, somewhere in there. But guy's a great player. He has played for so many teams and seems to
for the Penguins.
He's frustrated so many coaches. Interesting guy. It must drive coaches absolutely batty that you can come out some nights and do whatever you want out there, seemingly, and then other nights he'll just kill you out there. I think we've probably. I mean, it's game 1. We don't want We don't want to waste everything on the first game of the season, right? There's one on Saturday, and then there's one on Sunday, got on Tuesday. Feel like that's
It's all
probably
gonna be
enough.
happening. It just felt like so much happened tonight.
Yeah, the first period was madness, and then it settled down. And then how about a little overtime? I was not happy with overtime, I won't lie to you, because it's late and I'm an old man. I need my sleepy time. But it was exciting. I love seeing Zary get that goal. You start to look around and it's, hey, how about Rasmus Anderson have a year? Uyghur had the great offensive numbers a year ago. Is he going to be able to replicate it? Not a bad start. Pospisil, Zary, two of the big stories from a year ago. They pick right up where they left off. Huberto, if you want to have a year, that'd be good. That'd be fine. And Mantha, what are you? Well, that's quite a debut.
Even
Quite a
Jake
debut.
Bean also got his first point as a Flame. He had an assist on what would eventually be the game tying goal.
There it is. Jake Bean. I was going to say at the we'd always kind of take comments at the end of the show. There's Yankee Reaper. Jack, what do we call these? These are the
Super chats.
Super chats. Do you know what super chat is? Boop. I don't know if you can use the square and boop for super chats. That's a $10. That's a little $10 Anthony frickin' Mantha right there. Yankee Reaper is wound up. Game 1, overtime win. Gordie Howe hat trick. Boop, $10. Attaboy, Yankee Reaper. Good having you on board. Love it. Not as excited, Scott is in for $2. Find a way, Flames 2.0. Pinder would hate that. Yes, he would, Scott. Yes, he would.
He's shaking his fist at the screen somewhere.
Yeah, he wants no part of that. Although it's weird because you start to if you have the conversation and say, because we were talking the point totals from last year and Bet365 have their point totals. I think it was 81.5 points. It's like, well, I think it's going to be lower than that because that's what they had a year ago. And you take away Markstrom and you take away all these players, and then he'll argue with you about, well, what don't you remember this? Don't you remember that? And so, okay, well, maybe they'll get some points. And then he'll start arguing again, saying, well, no, you can't have that because you can't give up that pick to Montreal and you got a tank. And it's the unwinnable battle. It's nailing Jello to the wall or whatever you want to say about it.
It's very visual.
Yeah, it's great.
I don't know. I just genuinely wonder when people talk about teams like the Findaway Flames, a more recent example would be the Habs going to the Cup final. If it was a guarantee that you weren't going to win the Stanley Cup, would it still be worth it to a fan to see their team at least make it to the dance?
Well, there's
how
plenty
long?
of people.
Like how long? How many years of suck make it worth it? Because I genuinely wonder. I didn't live in Calgary after the 2004 run, so I wonder. That undoubtedly slowed down building a strong contending team over many years. How many years did it feel worth it before it started to be like, oh God, we suck forever?
But because going back to that, it happened so quickly because even the year before they had Greg Gilbert was coaching and it was just, they were the third level wasn't even a thing. They had it all kind of draped off. The dome was not sold out. And then 04 happens. So it's not like there was a slow build where you felt like this team is going to be great. They finally made the playoffs and then went all the way to the Cup final into a Game 7. And then there's the lockout, and then they come back and they're not as good. And then so I don't know it, because you think about teams like, teams that haven't won right now. Dallas, I suppose they lose in the Cup final and then they missed, and then they've been kind of knocking on the door, winning 2 rounds, losing in the semifinals, winning 3, that sort of thing. I still feel like you'd take that, knowing that maybe there's a chance.
Like maybe the San Jose Sharks are a good example.
Boy, that could not have been fun last year. They stunk so bad.
It was not great.
So many losses. It was so awful to watch. my whole thing with there's enough talent here already, either with veteran guys and some young guys who don't know better. I don't think they're not going to be dead last. Bottom 5, maybe, unless Wolf is really good way sooner than people expect, or if the defense can somehow come to, I just don't see it. Or
if they can play well in division, because I don't think the Pacific got that much harder.
Tonight was a fun night, but again, not to be lost. You needed a lot of goals to win tonight, even with how well you played in the second and third.
It's a good thing it's not the dead puck era, and we seeing a lot of goals.
You were kind of horseshit in the first period, so just get me. Can you score 5 or more on every night? We'll see how this goes. Yeah. I don't think they're going to give up that many.
They don't have Sharon Govich back yet. More goals in the tank.
Maybe. That's going to do it. That's going to do it.
That'll do
it. Jack, how are we feeling? It's been poor Jack's had a long day.
I have had a long day.
Jack has had a long day. We've had some technical, because we moved this. We got the new studio. We got some things moved around, and I don't know why. I don't think it's but we've had some issues. Poor Cami, you couldn't watch the game. You had to go to some deadbeat's house to watch the game tonight.
I didn't have to rush over to Pinder's house to frantically try to watch the game. I was freaking out.
Terrible.
I slammed my car door so hard, and now I feel really bad about it.
What did your car do to you? Car didn't do anything.
I actually hate my car. It's really annoying. You can't lock it.
Don't tell people that.
No, I'm not done yet.
All right.
Boomer. I had 2 sets of keys today because one has my keys to get into the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't lock the car because the other set of keys was in there. So I'm trying to rush over there to watch the game, and I'm trying to lock my car, and it won't lock. It locks and unlocks.
Yeah.
And it beeps at me if it thinks I'm going out of lanes. And I wasn't going out of lanes. There are no lanes in Martaloup. It was just beeping to beep. And I was ready to drive that thing into the reservoir.
Stay in your lane, lady. That's what your car is talking to. Hey, lady.
I'm being sassed.
Keep it between the lines, lady.
Yeah, Sportage.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You've now told people that it doesn't lock and what kind of car you got. You're going to have your sunglasses,
Honestly,
your keys.
Someone take it. I will take the insurance money.
You probably like a Stanley mug or something you probably have in there. It's going to get stolen. Poor Cami.
I do not have a Stanley cup.
No?
No, I'm not there yet.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. Any last thoughts on this opening night?
I don't know. I don't know when it's going to be us on the show.
I don't need it. I just
thought probably going to be months until I talk to you again.
Not
true.
You
do well.
Not true. I'm looking forward to it already. Whenever the next one is.
I will recover my sunglasses for next time, and that's a promise.
Would you?
I will.
Come on now. This is our thing.
My nice sunglasses are lost in the ocean, but I will find more.
Yeah.
I'll find new ones. We will rebuild.
Thank you to Jack and Yasmin, who, they're working so hard back there, right? Oh, see? Yeah.
He looks a little sleepy back there.
Yeah, I was going to say. Make sure you check out, it'll be Afterburner after the game coming up on Saturday against Philadelphia. Every game, you got a little bit of Afterburner in your life. You can download it, listen to it on the way to work the next morning. You can watch it on YouTube. However you take it in, get it up in you. We appreciate you.
That'll do it.
See you, buddies.